Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Amita Balachandra. I'm going to get straight to the topic. We're a couple of minutes late. Apologies for that. But this is what we're going to talk about today. Karnataka government has decided to impose a 30% cut on tuition fees, and teachers and staff of private schools are just not happy. And we'll put up a video of the protest that took place today because thousands of teachers and staff members of various private school organizations across the state protested, and in Bengaluru, especially, there was a massive protest rally that had taken place that teachers took out today against this order, which basically says that there will be a 30% cut in school fees, and this order really came in on the 30th of January. And look at that massive protest that took place in Bengaluru today. The government has also barred schools from collecting any other fees, such as development fee, library fee, among other things. Now, we're going to be talking to not just school managements, but also to parents to understand their perspective, because they say that they don't want a rollback. However, teachers now say that they need a rollback as soon as possible. I have with me Srinivas, who is the chairman of Gifted Education and Research Foundation, which runs 2 private schools. So he'll bring in the teacher's perspective. I also have Sijo Sebastian, who's a parent of an 11-year-old kid, but he brings in the parent's perspective and why he thinks that this order needs to stay. I'm going to first go across to Dr. Srinivas. Dr. Srinivas, first of all, if you can tell us, why are teachers protesting? What are the major demands right now?
See, we talk of 30%, but it is not only 30%. In total, it may be 50, 55 to 60%. If that is a cut in the fees, naturally the school will pass on the cut to the teachers and all the staff. That is the reason why all the staff are protesting. See, the cut will be passed on to the staff.
So you're basically saying that staff will have to take the cut, but is it also because of COVID? Do you believe that that has made a difference as well?
See, COVID is the basic reason why this has been thought about, but we feel that this decision is irrational because almost 80% of parents have paid the fees. What's the point of giving them discount? And the parents who have not paid, they need 100% discount, 50% discount. What's the point of giving 30% discount? It doesn't make any meaning.
Yes.
We have been telling the government that we are taking care of parents. There are many parents who have helped with the 50%, 60%. That is one-odd parents. We don't need across the board.
So, Mr. Sebastian, if you want to counter to that, why do you want this order to stay? Why don't you want a rollback? Because what school managements are essentially saying is that this will be passed on to the staff, and the staff will have to bear the brunt.
Sure, I can explain. If a school is functioning as per the government rules and regulations, if the school is having a recognition from the Karnataka state government, and if the recognition is saying certain things, then school will be able to meet this without passing the burden to the teachers, because most of the parents, most of the teachers doesn't know how the fee is being calculated. There is a gazette notification from Karnataka state government how the fees is being calculated. When government issues an order saying that collect only 70% of the tuition fees, government doesn't issue that order blindly. If you look at the rules and regulations and the method how the tuition fee is being calculated, it should be including all the expenses, including the teaching salary staff, non-teaching salary staff, there all the bills, depreciation, loan interest, entire thing. Plus, they are supposed to charge miscellaneous expenses up to 70% to 100%. In Bangalore BBMP limit, it is 100%. On top of tuition fees. That means 200% of the expense is covered only within the tuition fee itself. On top of that, there is a term fees. 10 cannot be not more than 10% of the tuition fees, and special development fees, which cannot be not more than 2,500 rupees. So this is the government notified structure. And apart from that, almost all the schools are charging an admission fee of 60,000. 50 several 10,000s, close to 1 lakh also. So there are so many schools. As a parent, I can say that all the parents can say that we can meet all the expenses incurred by the school to get our child educated. We are not passing the burden on them. But just to give you an example, my previous school, my kids, from where my kids got expelled, it was Euro School Whitefield. In a single branch, there are 3,000 students. They have charged more than 1 lakh for online classes for even LKG students. There are 3,000 students. 30 crores is coming in as an amount. I'm talking with the data. 30 crores coming as a total yearly recurring income. I have also the advertisement issued by published by the same school 2 weeks back. They are recruiting primary teachers. The salary offered is for pre-primary teachers, it is 6,000 to 12,000. For primary teachers, it is 20,000 to 25,000. If you calculate, there are 200 teachers in a single branch. Total salary expense will come 6 crores. Where is the 24 crores flowing in a year? This same branch has collecting admission fee, which is against the rule. It is RT section, violation of RT section, section 13. They are collecting 60,000 per head. I'm just giving the data. I am based on this school. I have collected all the proofs. I have collected all the documents. This 60,000 from 3,000 students, 18 crores collected. Plus every year they are getting 200, 300 admissions. After collecting all this amount, where is this all this amount is flowing? Being spent 10% for the teachers. The other question is the basic thumb rule. If school is collecting, school cannot be profiteering as per Indian law. If school is collecting amount, any amount, 50,000, 1 lakh, whatever it is, that is supposed to be spent for the child's education, not for the school management's investment. So if a 60,000 rupee is collected as an admission fee, how is that amount is being spent for the kid? Is it for the brochure? Is it for the admission procedures? How is that being spent? They are saying that this is the expense incurred, and if government is asking to cut 30% of the fee, we will have to pass the burden to teachers. Then where all the additional amount is flowing? Where is that? This is yearly expense, and that too.
Yes, Dr. Srinivasan, I was going to ask you this question as well. One important point raised by Mrs. Sebastian is that where is the rest of the money going? Because teachers are not being paid enough. In fact, one of the viewers, Inderpal, has also asked us, why will the school pass on this cut to the staff?
See, if you reduce 5-10%, school can manage. I don't think any school can manage 50% to 60%. I tell you why. See, every school manages its finance the way they have been managing. They had the right. If any parent puts a child in a school, they know the expenses of the school. You cannot go middle of the way and then say you are charging more. Why did they join that school if they knew that school was charging 60,000 and 1 lakh or 5 lakhs? It's a contract. You need to be very, very correct in asking the school.
Exactly. I agree with that. The same way, when the school starts functioning, there is a contract between school management and state government of Karnataka. There, every private school is taking recognition from Karnataka state government.
Sebastian, 1 second. Let Dr. Srinivasan speak. I'll give you enough time to rebut what he says as well.
See, he is talking about only the staff expenses. The school may have borrowed money to put up the infrastructure. Who will pay the interest? Who will pay the capital? These are all charged to the school. See, every school submits its income tax returns to the department. If you have surplus more than 15%, they themselves will raise a question. So it is not the mumbo jumbo, it is all records. Only thing is, the parents may not have that record. It will be only with IT. You cannot have more than 15% reserve, and you are allowed to have 15%. And as a general knowledge, you cannot run a school which has 30-40% profit, which is very difficult. You need to be short shifting in every corner. If he talks of 6,000 rupees salary to the teachers, maybe one or teacher may be getting 60-70,000 rupees. You cannot calculate the 200 teachers, all of them getting 6,000 rupees. I have a teacher who gets 1.5 lakhs. I have most of the teachers who get 50-60,000 rupees. I can't say every teacher gets 1.5 lakh. I can't say every teacher gets 50,000-60,000 rupees. So every school has its own expenses. And
okay, so you're saying that there are other expenses as well. A quick rebut from Mr. Sebastian before I move on to other points as well. Yeah. Mr. Sebastian, go ahead.
Yeah. See, if a school is, I'm not sure the school Mr. M. Srinivasan representing functioning as per the Karnataka state government laws. They are talking about the capital expenditure, all those investment, all of those things. There is a recognition form required by any private school to run within Karnataka state government. That very clearly says that there are 16 conditions. It is very clearly saying that school cannot be profiteering. School will have to submit all the audit report by the end of June 30th and project their expense and seek the approval for the next year's fee collection, and then only it can function. And audit report needs to be publicly available. So if I file an RTI application, I can get to know the school's audit report, and I have seen that. Schools, specifically Euroschool Whitefield, it is the same category. It's 2014-15 annual profit before paying taxes 2.6 crores. Next year, 2016-17, profit before paying taxes 5.3, 100% increment in crores. And they're saying that they have all other expenses. I have clearly mentioned there is a government notification which is amended on 24/7/2019. If you go and check that as a school management and official, he should be aware of that. It is very clearly saying that how tuition fee is calculated, including all the expenses, teaching salary staff, non-teaching salary staff, all the bills, depreciation, loan interest, entire thing, plus 70% to 100% miscellaneous expense, which cannot be exceeding more than salary expense. And most of the schools' audit reports are missing, even though if you file the RTI with the officers, they are also denying that. It is nowhere available. Why it is missing? I'm 100% I can say that parents are ready to pay the expense. Teachers will have varied salary. I agree that. I can understand that there are so many other expenses. Can the school publish the audit report which is properly audited by showing the expenses, can divide that expense by total number of students, at least for this year?
Okay. Dr. Srinivas, and I also want to ask you one of these questions that one of our viewers has asked. Amrit has asked this question. Every business has taken a hit due to COVID, he says. But since the teachers have done their duty in the last couple of months, if schools take a loss of 30%, if it is actually a loss, if there is a cut, then shouldn't the schools absorb it and not pass it on to teachers?
Let's talk about 50%, not 30%. You yourself heard him saying term fee, which is 10% of the tuition fee. Actually, then there is no admission fee taken. This year, there's no admission. The school is already taking a lot of hits, and there are a lot of expenses which we are doing without anybody's knowledge. In the school, there is no saving except for fuel and maybe some electricity. Rest all are going. All the staff are getting salary. All the contracts are going. All the outsourced things are going on. So where is the saving? See, normally we will have over 10 to 15% saving that we can think of rolling back to the school.
One question I have, sir. If you have 15% of saving, what do you do next year? Do you reduce the fee next year?
No, it is used for expansion. It is used for maintenance. It's used for additional facilities, infrastructure. It is not returned.
Can you please give that in writing in your school's letter pad? We will use that 15% for schools expansion. It is surplus amount. Maximum 6 to 15% school can keep surplus. Its Supreme Court judgment is there. 6 to 15%.
Mr. Srinivas, let's get back to the topic. 1 second, Mr. Srinivas, and I want to ask you also this: what are teachers going to do right now? Because today there was a massive protest. Yeah. Do you want a rollback completely? And if that doesn't happen, what's going to happen?
We want the schools to be given the freedom to take care of parents who are in distress. Now, the parents who are in distress cannot be taken care by 30%. There are parents who need 50%. There are parents who need the whole fee. How will the school manage if you say reduce 50%? I'm not saying don't help parents. Either the government should help all the parents who need, which is actually the case. Otherwise, they should leave it to the school to help. And we also suggested set up a committee where a parent can represent saying that the parent has not been helped. We need to help the parents. This is not helping the parents. This is not helping the school. So that's what we are saying. This is totally irrational.
But will schools stay open, because Karnataka government has now said that schools will reopen between class 6 and 8. What's going to happen over the next couple of days? Will you continue to protest?
The government cannot do anything. Government can say you can open, but if the parents and the children, schools will operate.
But will the protest continue?
The protest,
or will you send some representation to the government?
It was only one day. That is over. So from tomorrow, the online classes will continue. And where we had classes face-to-face, that will continue.
But what's the next course of action? Will you then approach court?
We have approached the court. The writ is already filed because we have a protection by which we are not under the Karnataka Education Act. CBSE and ICSE schools are not under Karnataka Education Act as of today.
I have a question. Under what act this school comes? Is there anybody who can control them? Is there anybody who can regulate them? If you look at the RTE rule passed out by central state government in 2009, it is very clearly saying that none of the private school can function without having a recognition certificate from the state government. While state government is providing the recognition certificate, the state government is clearly giving the condition. If they are not coming under Karnataka Education Act, if they are not coming under Karnataka state government, why do they approach Karnataka state government to get the recognition certificate? That is another question. CBSE, if you look at the CBSE bylaws, it is very clearly saying that fee regulation must be adhered to the respective state government of or union territories. If you look at the affiliation bylaws, the first rule, it is saying that you will follow the RT rules and all the regulations put forward by the state government. Now, for the to get the recognition certificate, to get the affiliation certificate, they need state government's dependency. After that, once they start the school, once they start functioning, they don't need anybody to control them, and the government doesn't have the right to control them. That's how it is coming.
We have to take NOC from the government of the state. We have to submit certain details. We have to take recognition under RTE, but that doesn't mean the fee structure and curriculum come under the state board.
Sir, if you look at the condition number 5, if you have seen the recognition form of your school, if that is handy, please open that and read out condition number 5.
We have protection by the Karnataka Education Act.
You have all the protection. I am talking about the rules and lack of enforcement.
No,
you have all the protection. You have all the power. Helpless are parents and teachers.
Okay, one quick question. I'm running out of time, Mr. Sebastian. Then in that case, now of course teachers have approached the court. They say that it was a one-day protest and online classes will continue from tomorrow. But if the government even considers a rollback, what are parents going to do then?
Parents will organize. There are many parents association we are connected with, and we are planning. Parents will come out with their protest. They will also approach the court, and they will have to expose. Mostly, they will have to expose all the illegal collections made by the school for last these many years. In my previous school, I have been saying that last 10 years, this school has been functioning without even having the audit report, without even seeking the approval for the collection of fees, nothing, just building and functioning and charging whatever the way they want. The fee hike within 5 years is close to 100%. What is the hike percentage of the teachers during this time? And I have already asked admission fee, 60,000. They are saying that they have many other expenses. How this is being spent?
All right. So basically, this is where it stands right now. Teachers, of course, saying extremely unhappy with this 30% cut. They're saying it's much more than 30%. And what Dr. Srinivasan said is that this cut will be passed on to the staff, he says, and that they will have to bear the brunt, which parents are obviously saying that that shouldn't happen. Why should teachers bear the brunt? Because they allege schools are actually, private schools are actually profiteering, and that is something that needs to be looked into. Where is all the money going? But parents don't want a rollback of this order. We'll see where this goes. But thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.